After such an unusual and difficult season, Kamila Valieva came to a big conversation with Maxim Trankov. We talked about continuing our career, pressure at the Beijing Olympics, and communication with Terry Tutberidz. This season there were many new competitions and innovations from the FFKR. What do you think about that? This is great, because we have cancelled international starts, but the same stages of the Grand Prix and the final remained. In Russia, the competition is very high, especially in women's skating. It was very interesting to come up with a new demonstration number that no one has seen yet, to compete with you wonderful Olympic champions, with figure skaters who have already done a lot in their lives. It was very interesting. 2 victories at the Grand Prix stages, 2 silver medals, the Russian Championship and the final of the Russian Grand Prix, personal gold in the jumping tournament, the most discussed demonstration number in the history of figure skating, captain at the first Channel Cup, the audience award at the Russian Challenge, triple axel in the Olympic short at the show in St. Petersburg. Are you satisfied with this season? Yes, very satisfied. The way I started the season and the way I ended it was much better. Closing the season, I also jumped a triple axel in the short program. This is probably the most interesting season for me. What do you remember the most pleasant emotion? Championship of Russia in jumping. For the first time ever I jumped a toe loop. In training, I did 2 at the most, but here at the expense of the audience, at the expense of an interesting competition, which was held for the first time a toe loop, victorious gold, this cannot but rejoice. Did you like to play in a team or in private? In the team, I was very nervous, because you play for your group, for Terry Georgievna, you jump. I would like, of course, not to screw things up. This worked out for me. And when I went to personal competitions, I was absolutely calm and sure that I would do these jumps, although I usually get very worried. Just enjoying the moment. You seem to enjoy writing. Is that true, or are you such a great actress? I really like it when I understand the program what I skate about. I add my emotions so that each person sees something different in my performance. This is my ideal. Getting pleasure from the program, from a well-executed technically and artistically, cannot but please me. In the short program of last year, the Olympic on the step sequence, I completely do not see anyone. I only know the story, I tell it, I add emotions, movements. It is this short program that I want to highlight, because skating it is a great pleasure. I will do it an infinite number of times. I don't think she will ever tire of me. Do you have an unloved program, or which was it the hardest? Probably, the short program of this season, Interstellar, was harder. I'm just in love with music, it's beautiful, but my understanding didn't grow together inside me. I couldn't skate it as well as I could. Why did you continue your career after the Olympics? You broke the stereotypes this season. It is accepted to think that the Olympics have passed and all the girls have finished. But you stayed, then you motivate others. Where do you find strength? I don't know why, but for the first 6 months after the Olympics, I thought that it would be incredibly difficult to continue, not to think about everything that was written and said then. And you grow, your body changes, you go to training after a rest, and you understand that you can't collect a triple jump. You just go for a triple toe loop and it's gone. Over time, when you slowly recover, go to competitions with the audience, you understand what tremendous support you have, not only inside a small number of people, inside the coaching staff, family and friends, but also outside. People really believe in you, they want you to skate. And immediately inspiration comes, and desire comes. I just set new goals and go towards them calmly, slowly, and trying to make the path a long distance, not a short one. Where are the coolest fans? Noisy. In what country? In Russia? And in which city? The most noisy ones were in Kazan. I have never seen or heard such a warm welcome. Very nice. Where do you put the toys that you give? I give half to your beautiful daughter Angelica. She is so enthusiastic about picking toys that if you had more space in your suitcase, I think she would take everything. I distribute most of the toys to children who are in the city. Those who ride collect the same toys. Some, of course, we pick up and give to our children already in Kristalny. They take these toys with such delight. If in my childhood some famous figure skater would have brought so many toys, I would have taken everything. What is your interaction with coaches now? How often do you offer programs? Perhaps you are arguing? There is no such thing that I drove up and said, I decided I will roll this. No, I try to talk to them somehow. Sometimes there are arguments, but I think that's normal. They began to treat me more not as a small child who will not do his task, but simply as an athlete who already knows what to do to warm up, skate an arbitrary, something else. There is no such wild total control that was before. Make so many connections and so on. They began to understand more. I hope this is my feeling that I am also growing up and also doing the right things sometimes. You have 3 coaches. With whom is it easier for you to resolve the issue? The question needs to be resolved immediately with Terry Georgievna. This is 100%. Well, with whom is it easier for you to communicate? Here with Daniel Markovich Glykengaz. I can directly tell him everything. Because he's younger? He communicates more with us. And you somehow to him. I can't say that we treat him like a friend. No, after all, the subordination is observed. This is the coach. But it's just that at some points it's interesting to talk with him on some topics. It's interesting to know his opinion. It is also sometimes very interesting to talk with Terry Georgievna, which was not so possible before. Previously, there were trainings, but now we can still talk about various topics. She also talks about her experience, and she has a colossal experience in life, in figure skating. It's always interesting to listen. And with Sergei Viktorovich Dudikov, we communicate less closely, but it is interesting to know his opinion. In general, I work with interesting people, and it is very pleasant to be with them. Well, sometimes there are moments, but it happens to everyone. Athletes have a moment when you are so tired that you are ready to give up everything. How often have you had that thought this year? Well, often. Rather at the beginning of the season, from July to September, October. Such an incomprehensible feeling when you work straight, do everything, but it turns out that this is not enough at all. You cannot reach the level that you had in juniors, and you did your best. At this point, hands go down. But you need to set yourself up, continue it, because after a while it passes and you join the training process. It is necessary not to go in cycles in figure skating. You have to live by this rule. Figure skating remains figure skating. You got off the ice, forgot everything and live an ordinary normal life. You go out with friends and don't think about figure skating. And when you come to figure skating, then this is work and you think about work. This is necessary so as not to burn out. If you think about figure skating 24 hours a day, then you lose this edge and you think that you do it all the time, although in fact there are only 3-4 hours of ice a day. You need to roll it, do the maximum and abstract. The season is already over, now the only thing left is the pleasant thing ice shows. Where can we see you? What are the plans? 22nd in Omsk, April 26th in Kazan. I know everything. May 28 in Ufa, May 1 in Almaty, and on May 6-7, if I'm not mistaken, in Mongolia. Do you want to visit Mongolia? Yes, I am interested. They don't take me. We will send photos and videos, ha ha. And where and how will Kamila Valieva take a break from figure skating, fans and interviewers? I have not decided yet, I think, but I really want to fly to the sea. 3 weeks in May, and in June already the exam in mathematics.